You and I were meant to be. God made you just for me. Baby, I love you always. By your side I will stand, walk with you hand in hand. From this day on, our love will stand strong as I declare that I love you. Yes, I do believe in you. I do want to share the rest of my life with you. I do promise a love that's true, never disappoint you. If you should ever be in doubt, know that I will never let you down.
You and I were meant to be. God made you just for me. Baby, I love you always.
In the presence of God, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, we have come together to witness the marriage of Christopher and Charlotte. Pray for God's blessing on them, to share their joy, and to celebrate their love. First, I am required to ask anyone present who knows a reason why these persons may not lawfully marry to declare it now. Christopher, will you take Charlotte to be your wife? Will you love her, comfort her, honour and protect her, and forsaking all others, be faithful to her as long as you both shall? Charlotte, will you take Christopher to be your husband? Will you love him, comfort him, honour and protect him, and forsaking all others, be faithful to him as long as you both shall? I'm going to invite Christopher and Charlotte, if they may, just come and take a seat. And we will be listening now to our reading, which will be, or our reading rather, which will be given to us by Chris and Mark. So first of all, we're going to hear Chris giving us our Bible.
Through him, we also have obtained access by faith into this grace in which we stand. For while we were still weak, at the right time, Christ died for the ungodly. We also rejoice in God, through our Lord Jesus Christ, through whom we have now received reconciliation. We're here today to celebrate the love that Chris and Charlotte have for each other and their union together. I'd like you to invite me also celebrating God's love for them and God's love for each one of us and our union with the Father that is made possible through Jesus.
This is Dr. Yanis giving advice to the board of Largo about love. Love is not recklessness. It is not excitement. It is not the congregation that promises of eternal passion. It is not the desire to make every second minute of the day. It is not lying awake at night, imagining that he is kissing every part of your body. No, don't blush. I am telling you some truths. That is just being in love, which any fool will do. Love itself is what is left over when being in love has burned away. And this is both an art and a fortunate accident. Your mother and I had. We had roots that grew towards each other underground, and when all the pretty blossoms fallen from our branches, we found that we were one tree and not two. Charlotte, Chris, so may you all.
Who gives this word to the marriage? Christopher and Charlotte, I now invite you to join hands and make your vows in the presence of God and his people. Would you please stand? I, Christopher David Dodds,
I, Christopher David Dodds,
take you, Charlotte Elizabeth Harvey,
take you, Charlotte Elizabeth Harvey,
to be my wife,
to be my wife,
to have and to hold,
and to hold,
from this day forward,
from this day forward,
for better, for worse,
for better, for worse,
for richer, for poorer,
richer, for poorer,
in sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health,
to love and to cherish,
to love and to cherish,
till death us do part,
till death us do part,
according to God's holy law.
according to God's holy law.
In the presence of God, I make this vow.
In the presence of God, I make this vow.
I, Charlotte Elizabeth Harvey,
I, Charlotte Elizabeth Harvey,
take you, Christopher David Dodds,
take you, Christopher David Dodds,
to be my husband,
to be my husband,
to have and to hold,
to have and to hold,
from this day forward,
from this day forward,
for better, for worse,
for better, for worse,
for richer, for poorer,
for richer, for poorer,
in sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health,
to love and to cherish,
to love and to cherish,
till death us do part,
till death us do part,
according to God's holy law.
according to God's holy law.
In the presence of God, I make this vow.
In the presence of God, I make this vow.
Heavenly Father, by your blessing, let these rings be to Christopher and Charlotte a symbol of unending love and faithfulness, to remind them of the love and covenant which they have made this day, through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen. Charlotte, I give you this ring
Charlotte, I give you this ring
as a sign of our marriage.
as a sign of our marriage.
With my body, I honor you.
With my body, I honour you.
All that I am, I give to you.
All that I am, I give to you.
All that I have, I share.
And all that I have, I share with you.
Within the love of God,
Within the love of God,
Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
Christopher, I give you this ring
Christopher, I give you this ring
as a sign of our marriage.
as a sign of our marriage.
With my body, I honor you.
With my body, I honour you.
All that I am, I give to you.
All that I am, I give to you.
All that I have, I share with you.
And all that I have, I share with you.
Within the love of God,
Within the love of God,
Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
In the presence of God and before this congregation, Christopher and Charlotte have given their consent and made their marriage vows to each other. They have declared their marriage by the joining of hands and by the giving and receiving of rings. I therefore proclaim that they are husband and wife. Those whom God has joined together, let no one put aside. You may kiss the bride.
You and I were meant to be. God made you just for me. Baby, I love you always. By your side I will stand, walk with you hand in hand. From this day on, our love will stand strong as I declare
That I love you, yes I do. Believe in you, I do want to share the rest of my life with you. I do promise a love that's true, never disappoint you. If you should ever be in doubt, know that I will never let you down. Lord, as we take a stand, we're asking for your hand
to move in our lives as we become husband and wife.
We will build our house on you as a rock. stay on, our love will stand strong.
Okay, I'd like to formally welcome you all to this celebration of Chris and Charlotte's wedding. Thank you so much, all of you, for coming and sharing this with us. Okay, I want to say I've noticed many good qualities in Chris, not least the ability to appreciate some of the finer things in life, like my daughter. Although some of his other judgments remain questionable. But I guess somebody has to support Leeds United. Moved in the crowd from Elland Road tonight. Okay, I think it is traditional that I should give some advice to you, Chris. And I just want to remind you about 3 important words. All, just, and only. So they come like this. All you need to do is, it just costs, and it will only take 5 minutes. They are, of course, gross understatements, but as a great philosopher, or maybe it was a comedian, said, women are to be loved, not understood. Chris, you already know from experience that despite her many qualities, some of the more practical and traditional tasks around the house may well not be amongst them. Although I am told that no eggs have been burned recently, and that there now has been a successful attempt at shepherd's pie, rather than the interesting shepherd's soup first time around. And I do want to remind both of you that there is no challenge in marriage that can't be overcome by one or more of the following. I was wrong. You were right. Yes, dear. I love you. And Chris, you just need to remember whose job it is to say all of those. Seriously, you already have so many great elements in your relationship together. You look out for each other, you cooperate well, compromise when necessary, and don't ever seem to complain about each other. That is a sign of a winning team. Yeah. Mind you, that may seem like an unusual concept for you, Chris. Okay, what I do really want to talk about from the heart today, though, is the change in Charlotte since the last time I got up to do one of these speeches. I've spent some time thinking about the difference in her since last time around. And actually, one of the huge defining events, apart from meeting Chris, obviously, was her accident over in France 2 years ago. A few weeks ago, as a family, we celebrated the miracles of that day. But I want to tell you a little bit about the courageous young woman who faced that adversity and came through with a smile and a thumbs up. And at the same time, want to say thank you to so many of you for your thumbs up at the time. It meant so much. I was actually moved to tears when I was listening to a conversation on the mobile phone from a hospital bed with you, Kaylin. Kaylin, I could only hear one side of the conversation, but Kaylin was obviously upset for her, and in particular the likely scarring that was going to be resulting from the accident. And I heard my daughter utter these words. Said, "Never mind, it's only skin, that isn't important." What a wonderful attitude from a beautiful young woman to be able to say that. And Charlotte, I was so proud of you. I also watched Chris's devotion to her as he spent virtually every hour at her bedside, having raced down from Yorkshire immediately on hearing the news. And Chris, that meant so much to me as her father that you cared so much to do that. But through that time, I watched Charlotte's faith deepen as she realised the miracles in the middle of the disaster and the support of so many people praying for her throughout the world. particularly her excitement as she realised that somebody on every continent except Antarctica was praying for her. Special moments, the joy and the beauty of Facebook as the message spread. Literally, we heard news of people praying on every continent. I just want, as I draw near to the end of this, I just took a photo of the third verse of the final song we sang. I'd like to offer it to you as a prayer now, and maybe as a little motto for your life together. And Chris, you know this is how we live our life as a family. Be still, for the power of the Lord is moving in this place. He comes to cleanse and heal, to minister his grace. In so much do we all need grace for one another and from God. No work too hard for him, in faith receive from him. Be still, for the power of the Lord is moving in this place. Now, I want to depart from tradition. Normally, it would be up to me to toast the bride and groom. But ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to stand up without your drinks, please. If I can get you all standing up. And can we please give a big thumbs up to Mr. and Mrs Dodds?
Can I just start this speech off with an apology? Unfortunately, my car passed away this morning and is buried beneath the Bewley Hotel. But the worst thing is, it's actually got my speech in it. You think, no, he wouldn't be that stupid. I am. I do apologise. Right, so I'm afraid you're going to have to wing this one. First of all, thank you, Ian, to Lucy, for being so pleasant and accepting me for how I would like to treat your beautiful and courageous daughter. She... Big up, Massive! Big up. As I say, I'm not very articulate, but the way Charlotte makes me feel, makes me behave in this life, means everything to me. And I know it's your upbringing and the way, the people that you are, that have made her the woman she is. And I thank you for that. I thank you. There is one little point I need to point out. Obviously, you may, looking at me, notice there may be a slight difference between myself and Charlotte.
You're a man.
I told you I wasn't articulate. Oh, I do love the northern wit. I know, twits. Quite simply, like I say, there is a difference, and I know Ian would preferably have things slightly different. But I'm not going to support West Ham for anybody. We are Leeds. I'd now like to come to this young man at the end. Everyone loves Jimmy. That's it, they do. This guy is one of the best things that came to my life, because it's not often you meet friends and actually understand everything that is going through your mind. And this young man instantly knew what's the most important thing in my life. And he understands it, and that means everything. He's been here for me all the way through. He's helped us so much. And although he is about to assassinate me, only one pencil, nice. He's means the world to me. So my best man, top guy, Jimmy. Ladies and gentlemen, bridesmaids, what can I say? Stunning. Absolutely stunning. And being this far down the table, I am allowed to say that because I'm not too close. They are beautiful, every single one, and I'd just like to introduce you to them. Excuse me 1 minute. This is young Abby. Beautiful young lady. I'm actually being a bit cheeky here, so I'm going to cut straight to the point. I have been asked by certain single gentlemen to the marital status of every lady here. Now this young lady is married to this young man, Gary. Now if you'd like to inquire about young Abby, you're more than welcome to speak to Gary. May I suggest getting a beer in first? That boy can talk. He really can talk. This beautiful young lady is Kaylee. And she is married to Ollie. Where's Ollie? Oh, sorry, I do apologise. She's not married. I'm so sorry. They're not married yet. And Ollie, hello to everyone. Give him a high six. He's from Norwich. And this beautiful young lady here is my daughter, Hannah. And as far as Daddy is aware, there are no boys anywhere in the world ever. However, one young gentleman in the room did inquire about Hannah, and just for you, young newbie, I would just like to point out, no means no. Only joking. Seriously, this is where it goes on. Charlotte, you are a miraculous person. For a lot of my life, I've had some great times, but you, for 40 odd years, yes I am that old, and a bit, yeah. For 40 odd years, I've had great times, but I've never quite understood there was something missing within me. I thought I had a DNA problem or something like that, but since being with you, I feel like this jigsaw has been put together, and I can take on the world for you and stand by your side forever, and I will. I solemnly promise that. This young lady is just incredible, and we as a family, we do talk about the accident that Charlotte had, and I will say this one thing as a goodbye, that when I drove down to France, it was quite a long journey, about 12 hours. Get there at 3 o'clock in the morning. I met Ian, and we go to the room where Charlotte was laid out, prone, bruised, battered, and I go through the door and I see her crying, and I obviously distraught, and I just looked at Charlotte, held her hand, didn't know what to say, but she turned around to me and said, "I'm sorry for making you drive all this way." I think that speaks volumes about the lady I have holding my hand now. So, if I can ask you to raise your glasses, please, to my beautiful angel Charlotte Dodds.
Let's hope I don't drop this mic. Before I go into my speech, I've got to say one thing. It is yesterday there was a lot of stuff going on and it was carnage. And there was so much that was thrown at Charlotte, Chris and everyone involved yesterday. And even today with the car breaking down and then the shoes left in the car and obviously your speech in the car. It's just one hell of a 24-hour crazy mental, and they got to this, so we did it. So that's that bit. I have to say that before I do my bit. Let's hope I don't drop this as well. So, Chris, in Charlotte, you have found someone so amazing. I must say how absolutely lucky you are that today you will leave here having gained a wonderful wife, a soulmate, a warm and loving, caring person who is smart, funny, beautiful, absolutely amazing. And Charlotte, you will leave here with that wonderful dress and that lovely blue pair of flowers. See that coming, didn't you? Of course, we had to do the small matter of the stag do to get to this day. The do. But I'm not going to tell bad stories. I'm just going to tell you my 3 favourite things and my 3 worst things that happened that weekend. My favourite things were someone trying to punch a pigeon. Just think about trying to punch a pigeon and just... Dropping a Finnish hen girl on a dance floor after she passed the cross. Which, it's a long story, but she's alright, she's out of hospital now, she texted me the other day, so she's fine. And my good friend Chris downing a shot after someone bought this tray of shots, which can only be described as diesel, and then projectile vomiting it back up, which made 10 blokes all with us go, no way in hell am I drinking that, not in your life. And the 3 worst things that happened was someone trying to punch a pigeon, dropping a Finnish hen girl on the floor, and my good friend Chris throwing up a shot that made 10 blokes all go, no way in hell am I drinking that. We're nearly there, 2 more pages. I am going to tell you this story because it is my favourite Chris story, and I'm sorry but I have to tell it. It wasn't on his stag do, but it was another one of our very good friends' stag do, and it takes back to 2012 in Bruges. Do you want to tell it? You can. So we started drinking quite early that morning, and we got to Bruges and checked into our hostel. We were on the 3rd story of the hostel, and obviously a group of lads drinking beers in one toilet in a hostel. The toilet is needed, and the toilet was in use, and Chris needed a wee. I won't go into details, but let's just put it this way, the family at the bottom of the hostel waiting to check in nearly got very, very wet, despite it being a very, very sunny day with not a cloud in the sky.
You just killed me. What happened to what happens in Bruges stays in Bruges?
No, not that one, mate, not that one.
Did you not know we're in Bruges at the moment?
I couldn't stand up here today, and I know Ian has mentioned it and Chris has mentioned it with Charlotte and the terrible accident she suffered a couple of years ago. The amazing courage and willing she showed to make full recovery and get to today is amazing, and I remember being in contact with Chris and him talking about it and just saying how proud of you he was, Charlotte, for your just positivity throughout it all, and it was absolutely amazing. So I couldn't not mention that. It was amazing. You can clap that. Some random Tuesdays, Chris, some epic stag weekends, and always some very reasonably priced trips to Leeds. Chris and Charlotte, it's been amazing to know you all these years, and you've both made a cracking home for yourself in Yorkshire. And I'm so truly honoured to be a part of your day, and I wish you all the best in your next chapter. And so on that bombshell, ladies and gentlemen, I think you all agree that these people are absolutely perfect for each other. I can't think of any more two people I know who belong together like they do. They went through one hell of a journey to get here, but they made it work through everything world forever. And love conquered all. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you could please be upstanding and raise your glasses. I'm nearly crying, we're nearly there. Please join me and raise your glasses to the new Mr. and Mrs Dodds. Thank you.
Heart beats fast, colors and promises. How to be brave? How can I love when I'm afraid to fall? But watching you stand alone, all of my doubt suddenly goes away somehow. One step closer. I have died every day waiting for you. Darling, don't be afraid. I have loved you for 1,000 years. I love you for 1,000 more. Time stands still, beauty in all she is. I will be brave. I will not let anything take away what's standing in front of me. Every breath, every hour has come to this. One step closer. I have died every day waiting for you. Darling, don't be afraid. I have loved you for 1,000 years. I love you for 1,000 more. And all along I believed I would find you. Time has brought your heart to me. I have loved you for 1,000 years. I love you for 1,000 One step closer.
Blowing bubbles. Say cheese. Blowing bubbles in the air. They fly so high, they reach the sky. Just like our dreams, they fade and die. Fortune's always fading.
I looked everywhere.
Chris, take that come on.
Forever blowing bubbles, pretty bubbles in the air.